All right, we're going to get underway here. Let me just, if you have a question as we get into this, just use the raise hand function and we'll get to as many of you as possible. We get ready. Dallas Wings received the number 1 pick in the draft lottery, which just took place on ESPN. We're joined by Dallas Wings GM Curt Miller, and we will let him open it up for an opening statement. Then we'll go to questions, and again, use the raise hand function, and we'll get to many of you as possible. Curt, go for it.
Thank you, Pam. What an exciting day for the Dallas Wings. Obviously, super excited for the entire franchise, from ownership to Greg Bibb, who has done so much for this organization, and especially for our fan base. And I can't wait after the availability to start talking to our players. But an exciting day. People don't realize this, but amongst our inner circle, my flight was canceled. The delay today, it was delayed and then canceled. And we talked about if this is the only bad thing that happened today, it would be a great day. So I'm coming to you back in LA with my one of my longtime assistant coaches in the league at his office. So appreciate him letting me scramble to his office to watch the lottery, and what a great result. So super excited. We know what number 1 draft picks have done to franchises, and in recent years, how they've changed the trajectory of teams. So super excited to earn the number 1 pick in the 2025 draft.
Curt, thank you. And if you aren't muted, please mute. We have a little feedback here. First question, we'll go over to Dorothy Gentry. Dorothy, go ahead.
Coach, hi, can you hear me?
Yep, you're good, Dorothy. Go ahead.
Yes, Dorothy.
Hi, Curt. Welcome to Dallas.
Thank you, Dorothy.
Tell me how you feel about the Wings getting the number 1 pick. What will this do for this franchise? And tell me how you plan to take this franchise to the next level.
Well, it's such an energizing day already, Dorothy. What a number 1 pick does to your fan base, what it does and energizes your team. For someone like myself who's just started the head coaching search, what an opportunity to be out talking to coaching candidates to take over the Dallas Wings coaching job, knowing that we have the upcoming number 1 pick. So I can't begin to tell you how much this just injects energy, enthusiasm as we head into the 25 season. And with other great news about Dallas, with 2 facilities on coming on board here soon, what a great time to be a Wing.
We'll go to Doug Feinberg next.
Hey, Curt, I have a question for you. And I see Greg's here. I don't know if he's actually online or not, but I was curious, as someone who's been with the franchise for so long, what this means to get number 1 pick for Greg, if he wants to answer that. But Curt, my question for you is, you just said you're at the beginning of the coaching search. How much will this help knowing that there's a number 1 pick for whoever you choose as the new coach?
We'll stick with questions for Curt today. Thanks, Doug. Curt, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. Obviously, the coaching search has already generated a tremendous amount of interest. We are into the search, and I can't begin to tell you the interest coming from, not only WNBA, but outside of WNBA like you've never seen before. This is only going to increase it. So really excited to be talking about the future of the Wings and the potential that we have as a franchise and as a team. This is only going to add to those conversations, Doug.
We'll go to Ben Pickman of The Athletic next.
Thanks, Curt. Hey, Curt. Two questions. One is a quick fun one. One, you mentioned your flight getting delayed and canceled. Did you have any good luck charms, I guess, entering this lottery, though? That's the first question. And number 2, along the lines of what Doug just asked, you talked about starting to talk to players after this. What impact do you think having this selection will have on Satou's free agency and the opportunity to get her to stay potentially?
Yeah, certainly. Nothing superstitious until I was going to get to Dallas. Was just trying to take a really early morning flight out and got canceled, and all my luggage is en route somewhere. But so nothing superstitious was able to take place because it hadn't started yet until I was getting to Dallas. Again, reiterating how fun it's going to be able to talk to our players. Exciting time for them, talking about the future. Each discussion is important, not more one than another, but obviously can't wait to talk to the team and talk about what this does. And soon we'll have another big announcement and hiring of a head coach.
Go to Alexa Philippou of ESPN.
Hi, Curt. Congrats on, big news on your 9th day, I believe, as GM. Just wanted to ask you what sorts of qualities you're looking for in this pick. I mean, you talked about how transformative a number one pick can be, but what does this Dallas team need in 2025?
Yeah, Alexa, great question. I certainly think, and as a person that's been in the league 10 years, 9 as a head coach, I still believe very much in the philosophy that championships are won in the locker room and with culture. And so adding a culture piece, someone that's going to add to the locker room is going to be such a big deal. And then it's the partnership with the head coach. It's no longer a team that I'm coaching. And so I have a new role to really support the head coach, listen to the new head coach on the style and the qualities that they are looking for in players on both sides of the ball, and put together the best roster to help that head coach be successful. I've worked for a lot of people in this league, and the great leaders that I've reported to really were supportive and listeners. And that's what I plan to be with the new head coach.
We'll go to Rob next. Rob, podium finish.
Thanks, Pam. And great to see you, Curt. My question for you is, with such a talented group of prospects in this coming draft, what are some of the specific intangibles you're prioritizing in your evaluation process in identifying that player who can be the catalyst for the Dallas Wings?
Yeah, I think you're going to hear it over and over again. Culture players that play unselfishly, players that think about it being bigger than themselves, and putting together a roster not only with this number one pick, but filling out the roster with unselfish, high character players that play a fun up-tempo style. But again, I'll be partnering with a new head coach and really partnering with them on helping put together a roster that they feel is really important and they would like to coach.
Again, if you have a question for Curt, use the raise hand function and we'll get to you. We'll go to DJ next. DJ, go ahead.
Welcome to Dallas, Coach. Jabari Moreau. My questions were: how do you see this number one pick shaping this team's return back to championship contention? And then also, what challenges do you foresee with this rookie class adapting to physicality, pace, and et cetera, like what you're talking about with culture?
Yeah, certainly. There's growing pains for any rookie, but excited about what a number one overall pick can do. But having the patience to allow them the adjustment to the game from the collegiate level to the pro game, how the physicality. We are just getting out of league meetings. We talked about how physical our league is away from the ball, not just on the ball. And so there's an adjustment period that all rookies go through, and look forward in my new role as the GM being supportive and having conversations with young players on how that adjustment is started. But can't be more excited. And then, an attribute that we haven't talked about yet is this great fan base in Dallas. Can't wait for this team to continue to get more and more involved in the community and really touch this community and really, really create an unbelievable atmosphere for our home games in Dallas.
Go to Kane McCutcheon next.
Hey Kurt, you mentioned, your experience in the league and just kind of generally speaking, obviously last year we had the biggest, hype from a draft class, but how have you seen the draft classes and collegiate players kind of change over time since you've been in the league?
That's a good question. And obviously each class has, been a little bit different, but you can just see the talent continue to rise in the game getting better and better. And one of the things as someone that is very draft preparation driven in a lot of individual interviews with players, the collegiate game, when you interviewed players 8, 9, 10 years ago compared to now, so many more players are watching and studying the league and know the players in the league. It wasn't that long ago that you could interview draft prospects and they may not even be able to tell you some of the starters on the team as I was interviewing them. It is followed much more closely by the college players that dream about being in the league, understand that our league is the toughest league to make of any professional sports league because the lack of roster spots. So, one of the simple big things that you're seeing is just how much people are following the league and dreaming of being in the league.
Time for a couple more. We'll go to Christos next.
Hey, Kurt, hope you're doing well, first of all. I would like to ask you how good asset for you through this head coach searching will be the number one pick, and also how excited you are about the future of this group adding another one big time piece to the core.
Yeah, certainly, Christos, lots and lots of organizations talk about a big three, a core three, talk about building around a core base. And again, we've seen what these number one picks have done through the years and how they've added to core three or fours of individual teams and made those teams very, very dangerous and contenders in our league. I was with a contender for many, many years in Connecticut, and there was a core base of players that was built around. So this number one pick has an opportunity to immediately be a part of a very important group. And also, again, in the head coaching search, as that search continues, this pick now will only add to those discussions and excitement about our job.
Okay, final question to Siobhan.
Kurt, welcome to Dallas. This is Siobhan Herndon. Hope all is well on your end. When you see, I don't know if you've gotten a chance to see the tweet by Arike and how excited she is. She said she fell to her knees. When you see that enthusiasm coming from the star player of the Dallas Wings, what does that mean for morale? As well as, will there be, like, in this process of choosing who that player is for the number one pick, will there be some conversations that you have with the members of the team?
Yeah, Siobhan, I'm so happy, and especially for Arike, been so loyal to the organization, has given her heart and soul, continues to be in Dallas in the off season and training hard. I've answered one text message since the pick was announced. I've answered one text message and it was Arike. And just can't be, happier to see her excitement and how much she, amongst all our players, but how much she has given to the franchise and the organization. Really, really exciting times, and I can't again wait to get off of Zoom and start to connect with the players.
Kurt, thank you. Thank you for everyone for logging in today. We'll send out the recording of this press conference shortly. We'll have an additional availability on Thursday with Kurt, Travis Charles, Jasmine Thomas, and Greg Bibb, and we'll send out that info later this week. Thank you all.